Hi, all. Welcome. Welcome to the fifth episode of our podcast series, Life Inside Out, where we discuss about various questions that Sai, who is along with me in this podcast, who brings in, and we explore what it means and how it relates to our normal life and our overall well-being. So, as we do every time in every episode. We will be doing the same in the fifth episode. So with me, I have Sai. Hi, hello, Sai.
Hi Ranjit, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And yeah, so we will start with it. I will straight away hand over to Sai, who has always has something interesting and insightful to ask. So over to you, Sai.
Thank you, Ranjit. Ranjit, I have been hearing this word trauma a lot these days, right? So when I discuss with my friends and especially, when I go and talk to people, one word which I hear is trauma. So I wanted to know what exactly is trauma.
So, Sai, to your question about trauma. See, trauma is a word which comes from an old word, ancient word called wound. So, what generally happens is whenever you go through an unpleasant situation or a very shocking situation which creates a shock within you, such situations normally leave an emotional or mental impression within yourself. It creates an impression within yourself. And in many ways, these impressions start defining your life. Okay. So what generally happens is like when a situation happens like this, it creates a mental impression or emotional impression within you. Let's take an example. For suppose a child who has not been given an empathetic relationship by her or his parents, what happens is that they start feeling an impression starts getting created in their mind or in their themselves is that they are not worthy of care and love. It gets created. So what happens is it starts impacting everything that they want in their life. Like if they want to be a father or if they want to be in a relationship as as a spouse, this particular impression that they have within themselves, it starts interfering and limiting them to be what they want in their. So, what I am talking about from a trauma perspective, Sai, is that something which a situation or an incident which creates an impression within our mind, which starts limiting us, which starts restricting us to live the life that we want to live. Right.
Okay. So what you have explained, I kind of see that there are certain behaviors of mine which are limiting myself to be my 100%. So, does that mean I have also trauma?
Yeah. So, see, what it means is that when a certain thing is limiting you from doing certain thing,
Uh huh.
deep inside, it is coming from certain impressions which are created within you.
Okay.
And that could have come through a situation in your life.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Understood.
So there is an impression within you, an emotional or a mental impression within you, which is restricting you from living a life that you want to live or living the 100% of what you want to live.
Okay. Understood. So, I think I understood, what you're saying. So, what happens when someone goes through a trauma or a wound, right? And then that leads them to uh, a behavior where it limits them to be their 100%, right?
Correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because there are two things on the top of my head which are actually limiting me to become my 100%.
Hmm.
One of them is that my own laziness, or I have a tendency to delay things, right? So this is one thing which I see in myself, which is not which is limiting me to be my 100%. So do you think that this behavior came because of something which happened before to me?
See, it all depends on, like
Okay.
when you say that you feel like delaying things, Sai.
uh,
Uh, so is it like in those moments you just don't want to do anything?
yes, I just want to relax, like I just feel like let's do it later, let's do it later, I just want to relax. Yes.
So generally, such thing is coming because, see, overall you are exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, you are exhausted within yourself. It's
Mm-hmm.
important to understand what I'm talking about is you are all overall exhausted.
Okay.
And see, exhaustion might come from something that is currently happening in your life. Correct. It can come from something which is happening in your life current.
Okay.
So, so do you see anything that is really have exhausted you over a period of time?
So, two things. The first thing, I've been through a relationship which did not work, right? That really exhausted me a lot, and it brought a lot of things within me which I myself don't know about. That is one thing which I've seen that has emotionally and physically drained me a lot. That's the first thing which I see. And the second thing is that the work which I'm doing. So I did not experience financial success in the work which I'm doing, right? So I'm doing my best, but the outcomes were not that great. So these are the two things which I see that are on the top of my head all the time.
I understand. See, the first one that you mentioned about the relationship,
Hmm.
and you felt like it's exhausted. So my question to you is, when you think about that relationship, when you
Yes.
see that relationship that did not work, what did you value about that relationship the most?
What did I value about that relationship the most?
Yeah, for yourself, what was so valuable about that relationship? What did you value the most of that relationship for yourself?
The person. I
Hmm.
valued the person a lot. Uh, yes.
So that person would be giving you something through that relationship, right? So what you were getting through that relationship?
So love and support, I
Hmm.
mean, love, support, and more importantly, care. Yeah. And I think I experienced that, okay, there is someone. So there is this feeling of, there is someone with me, right?
Hmm.
That kind of dependency or anything. There, like, I can depend on this person. So there is someone with me. I think that was the thing which I valued a lot in that relationship.
So see what you mentioned about the care, love, support.
Hmm.
See, what comes to me is that it's something
Yeah.
that you value, but you don't think it is there within you, but you loved when you got it from others.
Hmm.
Right? So it's not something there within you, which means at this point of time, you don't feel that love, care, and support for your own self.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, if
Like
I'm looking for those aspects from outside, then yes, I do agree that I don't have those things for myself. Yes.
see this part which we are talking about, that is love, care, and support. See, what it means is that somewhere within you, you don't have that. And you seek it for someone outside. And obviously, when you get it, you value that relationship.
Yes.
Okay. So, what it means is that, Sai, is that there is an impression within you.
Hmm.
There is an impression which is created within you, which says that, which kind of says that is that that care and support or that love is something which is not there for you, and
Okay.
it's something which can be provided from outside.
Hmm.
Right? So it's like an impression which is created within you.
Okay.
And what happens is whenever you need love, care, and support, what you would tend to do is you will try to seek it outside.
Okay.
Getting it? You will try to seek it outside. So the reason I'm sharing this is because to link it to that whole thing about the trauma. So
Hmm.
what it means, or at least from the sounds of it, initial sounds of it, what it means is there might be certain situations in your past
Hmm.
which would have led to this impression or a belief saying that love and care is something which you will get it from outside.
Okay.
You're getting it? So it has created that. So whenever you now want to seek for love, you will obviously look for someone outside.
Okay.
You're getting it? So coming back to that whole exhaustion thing is that since you don't have this love, support, and care for your own self,
Hmm.
what has happened is you have spent so much of energy on getting it from outside.
Hmm.
You've spent so much of energy in getting it from outside. Correct. And when you've spent so much of energy in getting it from outside, correct. And when it has not worked, you're now exhausted.
Yeah.
You're tired and exhausted of it not working or it not how that relationship not happening for you.
Hmm.
You get it? So what I'm trying to tell you is that as you gave this example of that you're not able, you don't like working on something. It might not be directly related, but see, if you see indirectly, it is
Hmm.
related to an impression which you have created within yourself that might have come from some situation in the past about
Okay.
love and care in your life. Okay. But what it has done is it has exhausted yourself to such a level that you don't feel like engaging in activities that you want.
Okay. Understood. So how do we come out of this and then be our 100%?
See, most when it comes to anything like this impressions, what I'm talking about, Sai, is
Hmm.
that see the most important tool for this is expression.
Expression.
The most important tool. Because what happens is these impressions are like knots.
Huh.
These are like knots within us, which limits us from not performing or doing things that we want to.
Hmm.
So, and why I say expression is Sai, because what happens is like when you express, when you express what you're feeling or when you express this, what you're experiencing, slowly what you're doing is you are untying those knots.
Hmm.
You're untying those knots slowly, slowly you are untying that knots. And when that knot is untied, obviously what happens is like you get a better clarity of things. First of
Hmm.
all, you get a better understanding of yourself. And and the beautiful part about that side is that once this knot is untied through expression, it starts giving you a very different picture or reality about the same situation.
Okay.
Same situation. So for suppose now you feel exhausted right now, correct?
Hmm.
And when you express it slowly, when you express this whole thing and you share this whole thing about what you're going through, and once you realize where it is coming from,
Hmm.
slowly what will happen is like it will it will it will kind of take away all that cloud that you had,
Okay.
and it will show you that situation very clearly in terms of what you can do in that situation, which it was hiding in the clouds earlier of
Okay.
exhaustion or lethargy or whatever it is. It will then start showing the same situation in a very different time. So To answer your question, the first and the most important tool for attending to these mental impressions or things here is expression. We should give a voice to uh, that particular experience that we are experiencing within us.
Okay, so when you say give voice, do you mean share it with other people, or what exactly do you mean?
Yeah, it means sharing. Obviously,
Okay,
sharing in an environment where it's very important. Sharing in an environment where it's not, it's allowed basically.
okay,
Allowed. People don't. No one is kind of limiting you or judging you or anything. It is. It is allowed to share freely.
understood.
When you are allowed to share freely in an environment where you are in an environment, obviously you will see that things are opening up for you.
Okay,
Things are opening up for you, and you will start seeing things in a very different light, in a very different way. You will start seeing things when you're allowed to share in an environment or in a space freely.
okay. And does the same thing work with everything, which we experience as trauma? So because as a human being we go through, different life situations, in our journey, and there are a lot of wounds, right? And some we carry it for, years. So sharing those, in an environment where, it doesn't judge us, actually helps us to untie those knots. Am I correct?
Yeah. So it's a very good question that you ask. Like, expression is the first point of it,
Hmm.
because certain traumas, as I said, it could be very deep,
Okay.
very deep. Those impressions could be very deep. And those things will require various other techniques
Hmm.
in order to let it resolve or let it open up completely.
Hmm.
Okay. But the start to it, starting point is always the expression.
Okay.
Kind of sharing it or expressing it, and slowly, depending upon how deep it is. So
Hmm.
you have various tools and techniques in order to attend to that trauma.
Okay.
Yeah. You have various tools and techniques to attend to that.
Okay. Understood, Ranjit. This is interesting. I mean, I have never looked at things like that, and now I actually kind of understand that there are certain behaviors which are limiting me, and those come from my previous experiences where I felt it as a wound.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Absolutely, as because that's the most important thing when we are discussing about trauma. So, as I said, like, the situation might have happened at any point of time, but it has
Hmm.
created an impression within you,
Okay.
which is not letting you to express yourself or express yourself fully or to live fully the life that you want to live.
Okay.
It starts kind of limiting you. It starts interfering with the life that you want to live.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that is what is important. That is what I wanted to share from a trauma perspective.
Understood, Ranjit. Yeah, this is very interesting. I've never looked things from that perspective. But thanks for sharing, Ranjit. Is there anything which you want to share where it will help people to, understand that, they are going through something and they should definitely, look into it.
Yeah, yeah. I think what I would want to like to share is that see, many a times we feel something is not appropriate happening with us.
Hmm.
Sometimes we might feel we are stuck. Sometimes we might feel that we are low in interest on certain things. Correct. So there are many indications we feel within us, which gives us an idea that something is not appropriate or something is not right with us.
Hmm.
Okay. So my point is, it is always important to acknowledge that first,
Okay.
that something is not right or something you are experiencing which kind of clearly tells you that it's something is not appropriate or something is not right for you. because it's quite possible that underneath that, there could be an instance of an impression that is lying inside. As I was saying, there could be an impression that is lying inside, which actually wants to come out,
Okay.
which actually wants to come out so that it can be shared and it can be opened up. Right? So
Okay.
it's important that we be aware of such uh, such kind of what we say inputs that we are getting, right, from ourselves. Such inputs that just be aware of it and make sure that you attend to it, because you
Okay.
never know what resides within that. And in most of the cases, or majority of the cases, whatever is residing within that, in many ways, is actually limiting and not letting you perform to the potential that you are.
Okay. Understood, Ranjit. But thanks for sharing this, Ranjit. It's really helpful. I am able to see things in a different way right now. I mean, with respect to myself. So thank you.
Wonderful. No, I am glad that it helped you. I am glad that you could connect with what was shared, Sai. I'm glad to know that it is meaningful for you. So anything else, Sai, you have?
No, Ranjit, that's it.
So, to all the viewers who are viewing it, I know this is something which is a deeper topic because trauma is something which resides deep within us. But through the discussion that me and Sai had, at least I hope it gives you an idea about what trauma is, how it shows up within us, and how it starts impacting, or how it kind of starts interfering with the life that we all want to live. That was, I think, at least I hope we were able to share that, convey that with you, and we both hope that this has been a valuable and insightful conversation for you, and you could get something which is meaningful for your own life, for your own well-being. Thank you so much, and goodbye until the next time we meet. Thank you.
Thank you, Ranjit.